I actually like Yasu and Miyu. I feel like Yasu kind of needed somebody like that, or like a Shion, right? Somebody who knows the situation and can see the situation for what it is and is going to call a spade, right? But as you can see, like, Shion's not, she don't do the relationships or whatever the case is. Like, I kind of feel like if she did, he would probably got with Shion. I don't know. Or if her name was Cheyenne, whatever the case is. But he needs somebody like Miyu. He don't need no ditzy, happy-go-lucky. You get me? He don't need somebody like that. And Asami, she's not happy-go-lucky ditzy, but she's more of like, she is in denial, right? And Miyu, anybody who was going to get with Yasu is going to have to understand he has feelings for Nana O. It is what it is. And they work together, right? So they're always going to be around each other. It is what it is. He's not going to pursue those feelings, right? Because at the end of the day, his bond with Rin is more than his love for Nana O, right? And that's why she be getting pissed. Nana O be getting pissed because she be like, dang, so, he's still choosing somebody else over me. She wants everybody to choose her, again, because of those abandonment issues. Her mom didn't choose her. It started there, right? But just because he doesn't act on those feelings doesn't mean they're not there, right? And Miyu understands that. So she understands that he's going to have a place in his heart for Nana O. And she's not going to try to get him to push that space out. She's not trying to do that, right? Compared to like Asami and Nobu, where Asami, it's like she knows Nobu still got feelings for Nana K, right? But instead of just understanding that and just trying to, be there and trying to eventually, hopefully that space for Nana K gets smaller and smaller, she, pushes, right? She complains and she pushes and she wants him to say negative things about her as well and like complain as well. And, she gets angry when she's around. Rightfully so, though, because compared to Yasu, Noble will act on those feelings, as we've seen before, right? So she know, but she's still choosing to be with him. So that's, you feel me? Compared to Miyu, where she knows that Yasu has this some type of relationship or friendship with this woman called Shion, but she, he says that he's loyal, this, that, and the third, so I'm going to trust him, whatever the case is. But it's like she understands that he's had these other relationships or friendships or connections and bonds with women before her, right? And honestly, anybody who's going to get with Yasu is going to have to deal with that. And so she's just like, okay, well, I'm going to trust him until he gives me a reason not to. I'm going to, try not to be jealous and this, that, and third. So that is why I did like the fact that when he was carrying Nana O, right? And, she found out Rin died, this, that, and the third. She was like, you know what, let me go and be in the car with whoever it was. I forgot who it was at the time. And let me just leave him be because I don't want to be jealous right now. I can sense myself being jealous right now, but I don't want to be that for him right now. He does not need me being jealous right now. He needs to be with his people and he needs to be able to process what is going on because it's like he just lost his brother. That's what he needs. But I'm still a human and I know what I'm feeling and I don't like him carrying her right now. But you know what? I know it's not like that. So let me remove myself from the situation. I thought that was very mature of her because Asami, imagine if that was Asami and imagine if that was Nana K and Nobu, right? And Asami wouldn't have had that at all. And do I blame her? No, but I feel like she wouldn't have had that thought process of like, hey, he just lost somebody very important to him. What that's doing right now, that's not that. Even though there are romantic feelings behind that, that right there is not just that, okay? And I have to kind of respect this relationship that they've had before me. I just came into the picture. You get me? And I like that she's, perceptive. You get me? Like, she can tell stuff like it is. She's analytical. She sees stuff and she'll just, she'll clock it. You feel me? And that's what somebody like Yasu needs. He can't have somebody like Asami or even somebody kind of like Nana K, like those type of personalities. He needs people like Shion and like Miyu, more laid back, cool, calm, collected. They're not looking for all of that validation in the high levels of validation like Asami or like Nana K, right? And they're not really needy. You get me? And not saying that being needy is a terrible thing, right? Because, there's a certain level of need that comes with, you know, being in a relationship with somebody. But they're not. Miyu and Shion, they're not really like that. Compared to like a Nana O and Yasu type of relationship, or like a, you know, even like a Nana K personality, or even a Sami personality. They're good on their own. You feel me? To where Yasu, I feel like they would balance Yasu out. You get what I'm trying to say? So I actually like Miyu and Yasu, and I feel like, you know, because we did see that, you know, she was cutting herself, and again, low self-esteem, things like that, depression. But I feel like I like the fact that she was like, yeah, but Yasu, he doesn't like it when I do that, so, you know, I'm gonna try not to do it. She said something like that, to where I really do feel like their relationship over time will really help the both of them, especially since we know that Yasu knows that he can't be with Nanao. It just is what it is, especially after Rin passed. Like, it's like absolutely did not disrespectful, no, right? So it's kind of like, okay, eventually I think he will always have a place in his heart for Nanao, right? But eventually that Miyu will be bigger in his heart, I feel, than Nanao is. And so that's why I like them, and I'm like, okay, over time it makes sense. And I believe she was in the time skip as well, so we got to see her as well in the time skip, showing that, hey, they lasted. In the time skip, we didn't see no Asami. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like after that last chapter where Asami called Nana O out about having Nana K around, she was like, so you don't need her around no more, right? Get your ass on that stage and start singing since you talking again, and get her ass up out of here. Have her go home. Let her have her baby, have her go home. Do something. I feel like they probably broke up right after that, I'm not gonna lie, because he pulled her to the side. So yeah, I just feel like I already knew that Asami and Nobu wasn't gonna last, but Miyu and Yasu give stability. You know, they give stability, they give consistency. They're not gonna have those crazy dynamics of like Asami and Nobu, you get me? So yeah, I like them. I definitely like, I feel like out of the group, they're going to be not necessarily like a Junko and Kyosuke, but you get what I'm trying to say, like a stable couple. They're going to be the stable couple out of everybody. They're going to be the ones that stay together, I feel, out of everybody. Because I feel like Takumi and Nana K, they were already talking about, or they mentioned separation or divorce, right? I mean, they already living separately, so you feel me? And we already know how Takumi get down, so probably barely calling, texting, all that kind of stuff. And then we got Sheen. Who knows what he doing? We know he's still working for the label, all that kind of stuff. And then we got Nobu. I don't know. He seemed like he's single at the time. So I just feel like out of the group, it's going to be Yasu and Miyu that stay together. And that makes sense. Yes, exactly. I tell people to read between the lines all the time. A lot of anime and manga that we're reading and watching today was created like back in the 90s, if not even later, right? Or early 2000s, to where it was not okay to just be openly gay or openly, bisexual or queer or anything like that. So, of course, in an interview, an author probably like, oh, yeah, no, they're completely platonic, or, they just don't disclose, you get me, like the true sexuality of these characters, or they just lie about it. But the proof is in the pudding, right? They're relying on people to, read between the lines. It's a reason why they wrote things certain ways, or they have the characters doing or saying certain things. Just like how people back in the day had to be cryptic with what they did, you get me? Like, they have to do the same thing with their characters. And another thing, they understand how society is going to react to that too. Do y'all think that Berserk this is a male-dominated fandom. Do you think that Berserk would have the fan base that it has if they made it clear that, oh yeah, Griffith loved guts? Yeah, no, he loved guts. That's why he did all that he did. It makes perfect sense, right? And I tell people all the time, he literally makes Griffith look more feminine in all the pages with guts on purpose. I was like, if Griffith was a woman, y'all be able to see it easily, right? But it's just the same thing like with if Nana O was a man, everybody was like, no, they were just platonic. They would be able to see it so easy that they were in love with each other. Simple. Simple. But could these people come out and just say that? No. That's not good for business back in the day, right? And also because we know how society is, a lot of people would just literally discard it or dismiss it or hate on it just because they would be like, oh yeah, no, that's like a queer show, or that's like a queer manga, or whatever the case is. So I'm literally just not going to read it. I'm going to hate on it. Not even giving it a chance. So we know that would happen as well. So yeah, I genuinely don't understand, like, with all the proof that there is, with the characters literally saying that they love each other and all that kind of stuff, they're falling in love with each other, whatever, right? That people can still think that the Nanas were completely platonic. I'm like, no, we don't always have to get a romantic kiss from two characters to see that they were together. Because, you know, some people, they'd be like, well, they never slept with each other, they never kissed each other, so they're platonic. I'm like, there's so much more. There's so much more than just physical intimacy, okay, when it comes to relationships and love and things like that. So yeah, I just always tell people, like, read between the lines. Read, you know, all the time, because like I said, it's also doing a disservice, I feel, to the writers when we don't look closer. You get me? These people write this stuff for years, and then they put it out, and they're hoping that it reaches the right audience. They hope that, you know, some people can see the true message, right? And they go deep enough, okay? And just for people to write it off and be like, oh, no, yeah, completely platonic. It's like, well, damn, why I write all that for? What? Nobody got the hidden messages at all? I mean, I guess, right? And I understand, like, as an author or as an artist, too, when you release your stuff into the world, you kind of have to release even the true meaning of it, because you understand it's going to be interpreted differently from everybody, right? Everybody's going to interpret your stuff differently, right? But I know that there's probably just an inkling of hope of, like, I hope somebody can see what I'm trying to say so that they can understand this is representation of us, right? This is representation of people who's been in the same predicament, right? And it adds so many more layers when you see it that way, right? Because like I said, if we don't really give stuff a true look, a true listen, you don't go back and reread, or you don't go back and rewatch and really see, like, you know what, hold on now, and try to see it from different perspectives, I feel like it's a disservice, right? I'm like, let's do some deep dives on this stuff. Like, we really got to get into this, because this person took years to write this. So let's get into it, right? So yeah, that's what with Nana, I'm like, come on now. It's so obvious, y'all. I actually want to watch more shows like that so that I can really, like, prove to people. I actually heard with JJK, I haven't read it. I'm not gonna lie, JJK is also something that I kind of put down, never picked back up. I'm literally at Shibuya. Like, and I know that's when everything goes down, but I'm literally at Shibuya right before everything goes down. And I put it down and haven't picked it up. And I feel like maybe it's because I already know what's going to happen, and I already know it's not going to get a good ending, for at least from what everybody's saying. So I just feel like maybe that's why I haven't picked it back up. I don't know. But I hear a lot of people saying that Gojo and Gato, that they loved each other. From reading the manga, that's what they say. And I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't read it. But y'all know me. If I did read it, and if it's there, it's there. I'm going to show it, and I'm going to bring the receipts. So I don't know. That is one thing that's making me be like, should I read that thing? I don't know. But I do like pointing stuff out to where I'm just like, y'all don't see this? That's crazy. Now, I do know sometimes people do be reaching. Sometimes people do be reaching, and I'll be like, okay, I don't think so. But with Nana, yeah, it's there. It's very painfully obvious. Same thing with Berserk. Yeah. It's one-sided with Griffith Love and Guts, but it's there. I don't know about JJK, though. I don't know. I haven't read it. Won't know until I read it, though. But, yeah, we have to remember the time period. Even though, just because they don't say it doesn't mean that it's not there. How many times, for any of, us queer folks out there, how many times does somebody ask you, especially back in the day, how many times somebody asks you about your sexuality and you lied? Okay, self-preservation, hello. Like, hello. So, it's, I don't even go back and forth with people, being like, no, they're platonic. I'm like, all right. Like, denial is a river. Okay, denial is the river, honey. Yeah. Ren was kissing on Sheen, too. Ren was kissing on Sheen, too. This is what I was just trying to say. We need to protect Sheen, because it was just too much stuff going on for this little boy to be around. Everybody was taking advantage. I don't care if it was a joke or not. It was hard to see, like, what was happening for real. You feel me? Like, when Nana O was like, what the F are y'all doing? For real. What the hell's going on here? Okay? Like, it was hard for me to be like, okay, Are they joking? Because, you know, dudes, they be, you know, having they little jokey jokes with each other. You be like, oh, okay, I don't know who really joking around here. But regardless, that kiss wasn't a jokey joke. And mind you, this wasn't the first time. This wasn't the first time. Like, it got to the point Nana O was just like, you know what? I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I'm half out this relationship anyway. Do what you want to do. But it's just like weird because it's like, even if you don't give a damn, that's still a child. Like, I feel like regardless, I'd have just been like, okay, Ren, the hell are you doing? That is a little boy. Like, if you gon' we cheating, because I guess you okay with me being with Nana K, right? But so if you want to be with dudes, so be it. See, my son agrees. This is the thing. You want to be with boys, so be it. But not little boys. Let it be legal. Okay? Let it be legal. What are y'all doing? The hell's going on here? First Rayra, now you. Honey, this is why I say at the end of the day, Sheen needed more protection. He needed more guidance. He had no business being around these people. And they had no business allowing him to be around them. It just is what it is. On top of the drinking, on top of the smoking, on top of the sex work. It was just too much going on. Too much going on. And nobody seemed to give a damn. So, but again, an accurate depiction of what happens in these settings when children are in adult settings, okay? Especially the entertainment industry, the music industry, this, that, and the third. All right? So yeah, for those who did remember, yeah, Ren was kissing on little boy. And y'all know him and Ray was like this. Look, birds of a feather. Yes, and you know what's dangerous about Nana K talking about like, oh, you know, I want to be like Sheen's mom. Because like you said, when it really came down to protecting him, she didn't do it, right? She wasn't even able to do it. And in this case, the biggest reason why she wasn't able to help was because she was also groomed at one point, right? And also because Nana K's fear of being alone tops age differences and all that other stuff. And so that's why she's not able to be there for him in these ways. Because when it came to him and Rayra, what did she do? She was like, well, if they love each other, everybody deserves love, right? Because she's like, well, I know I'm afraid of being alone. So if I already know that I'm like that, who am I to really try to split these two up, especially if they love each other? She's still not able to see, at least where we are in the manga now. It's like she still hasn't even come to terms that, hey, what happened with her and Takashi, that married dude, was wrong. He should not have done that to her. You get me? Like, that was wrong. She was groomed. She still hasn't even come to terms with that. This is why I say Nana K needs her self-love arc. And she needs therapy. Because until she gets to do that, she cannot truly protect anybody. And that's what's scary, because she has a daughter now. And I'm like, okay, we never really got to see that self-love arc. So I'm like, this is scary, because the same stuff can perpetuate with her daughter. Okay? And we don't know how much she's in Ren's life, because he's over there with Takumi and over there with the girl that likes to touch little boys. Oh, like I'm scared. I'm scared, okay, for your children's future. Not okay. I need you to get it together so that you can actually protect people, right? Okay, until she realizes the stuff that happened to her was not okay and was wrong, I don't think she's gonna be able to truly protect anyone. Even if the intention is pure, she wants to protect. She wants to be a mother. I think she needs to also understand being a mother is more than just, baking food and saying nice words and, showing up. I need you to do the things that need to be done. I need you to tell me the things that I need to hear instead of what I want to hear, right? In that moment with Rayra and Sheen, again, because of her own values and own beliefs and also fears of being alone. And because she centers other people instead of herself. And because, again, she doesn't know her own self-worth, all that. It's like she said what he wanted to hear. I'm like, oh, you and Rayra should be together. Like, that's what she wanted to hear. You get me? Or even she felt like he wanted to hear. That's not what he needed to hear, right? He needed to hear, like, hey, she is too old for you. You are a little boy. You are a minor. Okay? I know you think that you love her. You probably do. Whatever love you feel like, you probably do, right? But that's, you know. Okay? You can wait until you're 18 and we can see where that goes from there. But you need to understand that she should not have been messing with you, honey. And I know it's going to hurt and you could cry and I'm going to be there to pick up the pieces. But this is not okay. And I can't allow this. So if we're doing the whole mother-son thing, I can't allow that. Okay? And, you know, him breaking up with her, this, that, and the third, she should have been like, you're doing the right thing. I know it hurts, but you're doing the right thing. And then she should have probably asked about, you know, this other lady. You know, try to probe and find out, like, so when did all this start? And why? Like, you get me? Instead of just being like, oh, yeah, y'all should just be together because they love each other. Oh, he's crying. I hate to see him cry. It's like, they're going to have to cry. Children are going to have to cry. Of course, they're going to cry when, you know, they get heartbroken or they can't have what they want. But what does he need? Nana K. So that's what concerns me about Nana K being a mother. It's just the fact of the matter. Like, she has a lot to heal from herself that she has yet to heal from. And now she has a daughter. So, yeah. A lot of people always want to say I'm going to be there. Just like how Nana O was always saying she's going to be there for Nana K. But in the moments that she needed her, she wasn't really there. Because all these other feelings are like, you know, I'm trying to think of who else did the same thing. Like, it's just a common thing where people say that they're going to do something. And then when it really came down to it, they didn't do it. And it's just like, okay, so we could just, we could stop lying because I'm tired of lies. And that same thing with Nana O. I mean, with Nana K, like, Nana O was just like, yeah, she said I was more important than any guy. You know, she said this, but she lied because she put Takumi ahead of us, or ahead of me. To her, she felt like she was lying too. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like sometimes people will just be saying stuff, not understanding what that takes. What does it really take to be there for somebody, right? What does it really take to put that person above other relationships or this, that? What does that really look like? Because you can't say something and don't follow through, right? But yeah, again, that's why I love Sheen though, because it's like, again, just lack of guidance and lack of protection. It's really sad. And it happens way more often than we would like.